Welcome to the REALL Academy, brought to you each Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by the Leadership Doctors, Dr. Sheka Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, best-selling authors, consultants, and speakers of Create and Educate LLC. Create and Educate LLC is an educational consultant and literary firm that provides professional development to schools and community. Their goal is to transform organizations with the REALL Resilience Framework used to increase their school report card grades 2 and 3 grade levels in 1 year. REALL stands for Respect, Excellence, Accountability, Literacy, and Leadership. This framework is used to coach leaders and teachers and build student efficacy while putting systems in place that aligns the work of the school improvement, making the process manageable. When the work is manageable, teachers and leaders don't stress out or burn out. The Leadership Doctors alignment systems are designed to help schools evolve and grow, all while instituting protocols and processes designed to promote collaboration and collegiality. Alignment systems are frequently referred to as a key element of success in the improvement process. In the sport of rowing, all rowers must put their oars in the water succinctly, creating a system for their boat to reach maximum speed. So schools that want to improve are bringing in the Leadership Doctors to teach them all about the alignment systems that must be in place for school improvement to be accomplished at high levels. The dynamic duo provides insights into educational topics through their international platform, which includes educators, parents, and community members as a way to support important entities that make communities thrive. This is their way to pay it forward and provide the support they needed through their platform. They get into the weeds of work with leaders through their TrustMate Institute that you should contact them about today by filling out the contact form on their website.
Great morning. It's Super Saturday, everyone. Welcome to episode 147 of the REALL Academy, brought to you by your Systems Sisters from Create and Educate. We are the home of the REALL Resilience Framework. I am Dr. Sheka Houston.
And I am Dr. Tammy Taylor. Good morning, everyone. Hello, REALL Academy family. Good morning, Sheka.
Good morning, Tammy, and good morning, everyone. Make sure you are sharing the feed out. Don't keep us all to yourselves. We appreciate everyone that shares and allows us to share into multiple groups. So thank you all for being here. Most of the requests that we've been getting have been about our systems, and you just heard about some great systems that Principal Hurt just got through telling us about, making sure you're putting those systems in place for your culture to run smoothly over the summer. And of course, he was dropping major gems. So if you did not see it, go back and watch Principal Hurt. He was giving us some phenomenal information, and that tip about those cards, to the birthday cards to the parents, that was top notch information. So I think that will definitely have parents in the right place to receive things from you. So thank you.
I wrote down in my notes to make sure to purchase some all occasion cards.
Exactly. So our REALL framework is all about instituting the right systems.
When we develop our systems, we develop the systems for success for our schools. And now we use those same systems to teach others how to duplicate the systems from a district level, school level, classroom level, student level, and parental levels.
So we are a part of the Fantastic Four live stream network that starts at 10 a.m. every Saturday with Principal Sean Hurt, who is our data guru. We're calling this, and Principal Kafele has come up with this name, Super Saturdays. Then yours truly, Create and Educate with your system sisters at 10:30. We are everything systems, and we're followed by the GOAT, Principal Kafele, in the AP and New Principals Academy, and he is everything on reflective practices and lifting the voices of educators in our industry. Then on Sunday, the Fantastic Four continues, and we're waiting for approval on this. Sensational Sundays with Josh Tovar. He is now PGP Podcast, which is Purist Ghana's podcast. That's on Sundays at 5 o'clock Eastern. I know he puts 4 Central, just depending on what time zone you're in. But Josh Tovar is everything school branding. He is the ultimate collaborator, and we are all collaborators as well with educators, with his students, and with his staff. So we are your Fantastic Four PD one stop shop. So we are super excited about everyone who joins us every Saturday. So let's see who we have with us. Miss Real Purposeful, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Melissa Jones Chunu, good morning. Mrs. Truesdale from Atlanta, good morning. Principal Sean Hurd, our fellow Fantastic Four member and our brother in education. If you haven't gotten his book, make sure you grab it. Principal Sherrod Laws out in Greenville, North Carolina. Good morning. Principal Jasmine Harris out on the West Coast. Good morning, Queen. Kenyelle Williams from Oklahoma City. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to have you. Principal Dot McKeever Jeter. Good morning. We appreciate you. And I think I got everybody. Oh, there's Josh. Principal Josh Tovar out of Garland, Texas. Thank you for joining us. And Principal Hurt is from Michigan, although he is in Alabama today, as he told us. So please, if you haven't already, share, like, and subscribe to help us get the message out there. Tell us how you have kept it real this week. And that brings us to our topic for today, episode 147. Does your school have systems in place, systems of respect in place? And this is now a series because we are continuing from last week.
Yes, and since we're continuing from last week and the week before we get started, let's review. We told you that based on create and educates real resilience framework, that it takes 3 systems to successfully run a school. Now, can anybody remember what our 3 systems are?
Oh no, that's gonna be a good one. We're gonna see who remember that. We're
Yes,
gonna have to send them something if they
we
remember it.
will.
But last week we started on our system for respect, and we're continuing with that series on respect. So if you know anything about our real resilience framework, that framework starts with the door. You see it at the top of the frame on the screen. You see the framework behind our shoulders. That door starts everything, because if you don't have a system in place to establish respect for everything in your building, then we can't get to the rest of the framework. So we were intentional about making that the door to the framework, as well as the first systems that we put into place. Last week when we were on, my one of my assistant principals was on as well. Oh, Principal Kafele is joining us. Good morning, Principal Kafele. We always stop to recognize him, and he is all the way in Aruba, so we can't wait to hear what that has been like. when we join him next. So thank you for joining us, Principal Kafele. We appreciate your mentorship and all of the things that you do to support us and lead us all, because that's why we
Always.
the go. But when we were on last week talking about our systems for respect, um, one of my assistant principals that I worked with when I was in the building, Suzanne Huff had brought up how we were talking about making sure you respected your community. And I had forgotten about something we did. I'm going to share it from our school Facebook page when I was in the building. We took before school started, and Principal Hurt, this is just adding on to what you talked about, things you can do during the summer to help put that system, that place system in place for culture, and we're calling it a culture of respect in place, a system of respect in place. We went out as the staff. I got the bus drivers to gather up the entire staff, and we went out to all of the major areas in our community and handed out freeze pops just to let everyone know, the students, the parents, we can't wait to see you all. Tomorrow, it was usually right before that, like meet the teacher. So this did multiple things, and we're talking about establishing systems of respect in your building. This allowed my teachers, who many of them were not from our community, see where our children were coming from. It also let the parents and the students know, hey, these people done took time out of their day. They have spent money, and I know freeze pops is not a lot of money, but it's something that we could afford to do for everybody. We had coolers on the bus, and handed out freeze pops to everybody. Now, of course, all of the children who came up to us giving out the freeze pops weren't coming to Chester Middle School, but they were children in our community. So this is not just something that we're letting the parents know we're excited to receive your children. We're letting the children know, hey, we can't wait till you get there. But even children who don't go to the school, who may be at the elementary school, have now a seed planted saying, wow, I can't wait till I get to the middle school. They're going out, handing out freeze pops. So it really helps with branding. It helps put that culture in place for respect, and you have a system in place for respect that's hitting on multiple areas. So my teachers, it was a bonding experience for us because we're riding around the community together on the bus. So I'm getting to know the staff. We're all getting to know each other. It's a fun day, and we are outreaching in the community. So that's just another way to connect with that community and put those systems of respect in place, because those are things that people respect. People respect when you spend your time and go out of your way and over and above for them.
They do, and the families absolutely love it. Now, where my school's located, we are not able to take a bus into all of the neighborhoods, especially those ones that are immediately surrounding the school. But one of the things that we did and do for the community, Principal Hurt, and I think this goes back again to what you were saying about making sure that that time and energy is invested before school starts, is we do a really big back to school bash where we promote the registration of our 4K and 5K students, and families are invited to come out. You got face painting and snacks, and we have an art station set up, a reading corner set up, so that families are able to engage in all those different activities, but they also can go into the cafeteria and have a hot dog lunch or dinner, whatever time of day we actually are pulling this off. And it's usually in the evenings because of how hot it is in the summer. But we have huge inflatables that we bring in, and usually we have a book character that comes. Clifford's been here. We've had Clifford came the year before, and I want to say last year, Junie B. Jones actually showed up for us. So we have someone who comes that allows that opportunity, as Shika was saying, for that connection to be made before school starts. And again, although the focus primarily is around us getting more students registered to come to school, families bring the other children, and we have the opportunity to spend that time getting to know the families, and we allow for them to sign up for a library card and kind of visit in the school. So it's a time of investing into the future, that school year that you're about to enter into.
Most definitely, Tammy. I love that because those getting those children registered also is big for making sure you're getting children those into school early, where we can make sure we're impacting them. So I love that. One of our sisters in education, the boss educator, Dr. LaQuanta Nelson, is on with us. So thank you for
Hey,
joining us.
boss lady.
Yes. Um, so we are going to pick up exactly where we left off, and that was with that community part. But now we're moving on to that you have to respect your students, and your students have to respect you. So once you've gotten into doing some of those things that we've talked about during the summer, in the community with parents, now we are on with our students, and the students have to know you and see you as a person, because a lot of times, you don't want the as the leader for the children to think that all you do is make announcements, or they see you, you're just this figment walking around the school. You want your children to know you and respect you. So, one of the things that I would do before we ever got really embedded into school a lot, we had grade level meetings. I did a getting to know you PowerPoint. All of my assistant principals would do that. We had pictures of our families, just to show the students who we were as people, because that's another way that they're connecting with you and identifying with you. I have the honor and privilege of working in the area that I grew up. So I would let students know, same buildings that you all are walking around in now, some of those are the same buildings that I went through. Your parents are many of the people that I graduated with. So, when I'm calling them, and I hope I'm just calling them for positive things, I'm not just somebody who is this figment of the imagination principle. They know Sheka, they went to school with her. So, it's important for your students to know who you are as a person, and also your staff. And what I would tell my teachers is, the way that I'm modeling this for you, that I'm doing this for the children, it's my expectation that you also do this in the classroom with students. They have to get to know who we are.
Yes, it definitely humanizes us, and it makes it real for the children when they see us as people who also have responsibilities and obligations and family,
Mhm.
because that, I guess, just seems so foreign to them. It was really funny this year, and it's really cute to hear like how kids perceive you as a principal of the school. And this year, when our superintendent recently came over to do a reading with one of my first grade classes in the media center, I came in to introduce them and let them know that the superintendent was here and he was going to share a story with them. And before I got here, I think that either Miss Raven or Miss Locke had set up that you're going to be hearing a story from Dr. Taylor's boss. So when we came in, they were less focused on the superintendent than to me. They could not understand that I had a boss. He's the boss of you? I said, he is the boss of me. So we all have to make a good impression. And it just they were trying so hard to make their principal look good, but it was just this whole reality check for them that oh my God, she has a boss because she's the boss of the school. I thought you were the boss of
And
everything.
they thought you was it.
Yes, they did.
Yes, kids are very funny, but they do understand hierarchy and they do understand how hierarchy works. So, even that aspect, explaining that to them, I think is important and impactful too. You just expressed how that even made an impression on them. So, the other thing that we have to do is make sure that everyone has a respect for an education. And the system that I had in place for making sure that students and everyone respected the importance of an education was cultivated through my town hall meetings. So I would always make sure that students knew the why behind why an education was important. I would give them the statistics about how studies would show, the numbers don't lie. You're going to be more successful making sure that you at least starting with your diploma, it just leads to different paths. Now, I would also express that everyone has genius, and I did not just focus on academic genius. I think that's a mistake that we make sometimes in education. I let my students know that you have genius. It doesn't matter if it's academics, if it's in the arts, if it's in the trades, if you are going to the career center and you know how to wire up a house or do plumbing for a home, you have genius. If you're going into entrepreneurship, you have genius. If you're going into employment, you have genius. Everyone has genius. You have a talent, and you have to cultivate that talent. And finishing your education from high school is one way to make sure that you're cultivating that. So having a respect for education was something I made sure that students heard from my voice, and I tried to tear down some of the bias that exists with the different paths. And I was intentional about making sure that the teachers heard what my vision was for that so we could tear some of those things down that exist in education with bias, making sure that we're reiterating that there's multiple paths for either you're going to enroll, you're going to enlist, you're going to go into employment, or you also could go into entrepreneurship. No one way is the better way or the best way. It just whatever's matching your passion for what you have a desire to do.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, when you are in need of a plumber, you are not caring if they went to college. You want someone who can fix the sink.
Right.
And it does not matter what their background is, you want someone who has that skill set. So for us, I think that that whole attitude of respect towards the entity of education is kind of exemplified in our daily practice. Like we have a school pledge that revisits daily the why, as you were saying, and the expectations that we have. And to also affirm themselves, because in that pledge, it talks about what they believe and what they know they're entitled to as students here at our school. And those expectations, again, come through in the recitation by staff and students each morning of our Great Falls Elementary School pledge. But we also try to instill that respect for education through, we have a college wall that has pennants of colleges from Ivy League, HBCUs to technical schools. We also have a career wall because, as you said, now we start that messaging very early. We have students who know right now that they have a love for doing hair and want someday to be a cosmetologist. And so they already know I know how to braid hair. I'm in the fifth grade, but I'm a great braider. So we have that career wall up there. So we're making sure students know that we are here to help you find your passion and help you to get there, but you have to do that through this educational process. And then finally, we also have a college corner in every classroom. Each teacher has set up a college corner that looks whatever way they want that to look. And it some of them have regalia that's hanging there. Some of them have pennants from the schools that they've attended. Some of them have degrees. I mean, it just depends on what that looks like in your room. But every room has a college corner showing students that this is an option for you if this is what you choose.
Most definitely, Tammy. We're going to have to show the pictures of you all's career wall next week. And you're exactly right. Having those things up in your environment makes a difference. We had them up in the hallways, and then teachers on their newsletter introducing themselves that will hang outside of their classes.
And
They
it's
would put,
another way, Shika, sorry to interrupt, but of humanizing the staff with the students, because many of our staff members also have careers that are not related to what we do here in education. So, we have cosmetologists on staff,
mm-hmm,
several different entrepreneurs. We have like people who have custodial businesses. It's
mm-hmm,
lots of things
right.
that we can spotlight to make sure that children know you have as many options as
Mm-hmm.
you take advantage of.
Exactly. And I used to even I tell students now about the fact that, we have a live stream because that's another way to connect with students as well. A lot
Mhm.
of them want to be or are into some type of content creating.
Absolutely.
So letting students know what you're doing even outside of your career and how your education helped with that from high school to college, that is another way for them to learn to respect the importance and why they need an education because I think that we really have to stress that now because there's a disconnect somewhere with that and it starts with the leader and we have to have that continuous message with that. That was a part of my town halls every week. So we are at our time. We're going to continue next week. Remember, this is a series about how we spoke with students and speak with students about that report card rating, having respect for what we're doing and the why behind it, and how that whole system looked for that. So thank you all for joining us. We're going to hop on over to Principal Kafele's page next. He is in Aruba, so we know that he's going to be bringing us some great content and great ideas. So we will see you over there on his page next. Thank you guys for
Have a good
joining
weekend,
us.
guys. And happy weekend to people who got out of school yesterday. Yay.
Oh, and congratulations to all of the Chester County graduates. Today is graduation day
Yes, I'm
for us.
heading to graduation in just a second.
Yes,
Also, we'll celebrate some of our colleagues who retired. We'll do that next week.
that's right. Thank
Yeah,
you all.
thanks.